Banff is one of those places that almost doesn't feel real. You've probably seen photos of those bright turquoise lakes surrounded by huge rocky mountains, and somehow when you see it in person, it's even more impressive. The entire region is packed with incredible scenery, including one of the most scenic drives in the world. If you're planning a trip to the Canadian Rockies and wondering how to fit everything in, here's a realistic 5-day itinerary that covers the highlights without feeling rushed. Most people start their Banff trip by flying into Calgary, which is the closest major airport. From Calgary, Banff town is about an hour and 30-minute drive, and honestly the drive itself is part of the experience because the mountains slowly start appearing as you get closer. We actually packed some food from Calgary, and on the way we stopped at Bow Valley Provincial Park to enjoy a picnic right by the river surrounded by mountain views, and it turned out to be one of the most scenic lunch spots of the whole trip. Instead of staying in Banff, we actually stayed in Canmore, which is another beautiful mountain town just about 20 minutes away. Hotels in Banff can get pretty expensive, and Canmore tends to be a bit more economical comparatively. So we booked our place on Airbnb and it worked out really well for us. Both Canmore and Banff are incredibly picturesque towns, and I'm not exaggerating when I say even something simple like grabbing coffee or going to a subway here comes with a full Rocky Mountain backdrop. After checking in, we spent some time exploring Canmore downtown. If you are in Canmore looking for restaurant suggestions, we highly recommend trying Crazy Weed Kitchen and Wood Restaurant. Later in the evening, we stopped by Bow Falls. This area is actually known for wildlife sightings, so keep an eye out. And while we were there, we actually saw a grizzly bear, which was both incredible and honestly a little nerve-wracking at the same time. So across the river, there was a couple who had decided to have a picnic in what looked like a wildlife area, which I'm pretty sure is actually prohibited. From where we were standing, we could literally see everything happening, and we started to warn them, but because of the sound of the river, they couldn't really hear us. Eventually, they realized that we were trying to signal something, and when they turned around, they noticed that the bear was just behind them. They quickly packed their food, moved away. Thankfully, the bear just kept walking past without any confrontation. We didn't actually see them come all the way out of the area, but we're hoping they made it out safely. It was definitely a reminder that in places like Banff, you're really in wildlife territory, and it's important to respect those rules. Day 2 is when you finally see some of the lakes that Banff is famous for. So start your day early and head to Lake Louise because it gets busy pretty quickly. Lake Louise is one of those places that you've probably seen 1,000 photos of, but when you actually see it in person, it still feels unreal. One of the best things you can do here is rent a canoe and paddle out on the lake. Moraine Lake has become incredibly popular over the years, and private vehicles aren't allowed on the road anymore, so you'll need to book a Parks Canada shuttle prior to your visit. Once you arrive, walk up the rock pile trail for that famous postcard view of the lake and Valley of the Ten Peaks. On our way back to Canmore, we stopped at Vermilion Lakes in the evening. This is one of the best sunset spots in the park, especially with the reflections of Mount Rundle in the water. On day 3, we explored a place that many Banff visitors completely miss. This place is just about 30 minutes from Lake Louise, but it's located in British Columbia. Our first stop here was Emerald Lake, and honestly this ended up being one of my favorite lakes of the entire trip. The watercolor here is incredible, and this whole place just feels very peaceful compared to some of the busier spots in Banff. You can walk the trail around the lake, or you can actually rent a canoe here as well, which is another great way to experience this scenery. The parking lot can get pretty busy, but the good news is people move quickly so you don't feel stuck for long. Nearby, we also checked out the Natural Bridge. This is a fascinating geological formation where the Kicking Horse River has carved a bridge through the rock over thousands of years. We had carried a little subway parcel from Canmore, and it was a perfect spot to enjoy a casual picnic while taking in the rushing water below. If you visit, you can walk along the viewpoints and snap some really unique photos of the swirling river through the rock. Next, we headed to Takaka Falls, the second highest waterfalls in Canada. From the parking lot, it's just a short walk to get right up close, and the sheer power of the water is truly impressive. Some visitors choose to hike the surrounding trails, which can look a little bit intimidating, but even just standing at the base is breathtaking. Day 4 was probably the most scenic driving day of the trip. We drove along part of the Icefields Parkway, often considered one of the most beautiful drives in the world. This highway connects Banff to Jasper, and every stretch of the road is filled with glaciers, pristine lakes, and towering mountain views. There are so many viewpoints along the way, so give yourself plenty of time to stop often. Two must-stop spots are Crowfoot Glacier viewpoint and Bow Lake viewpoint. You can literally drive right up to the parking lot and enjoy the views immediately. Another highlight along this route is Peyto Lake, which is definitely a must visit. From the parking area, there's a moderate walk of about 1.3 kilometers to the main viewpoint, so it usually takes around 30 to 60 minute round trip depending on your pace and how often you stop for photos. Also, book the Columbia Icefield Adventure Tour to experience the Athabasca Glacier and the Columbia Icefield Skywalk. For the last day, we slowed things down a bit and spent more time around Banff town. One of the must-do experiences here is taking the Banff Gondola up Sulphur Mountain. The gondola ride itself only takes about 8 minutes, but once you reach the top, you get incredible panoramic views of the entire valley and the surrounding Rocky Mountains. Later in the day, we drove toward Kananaskis to visit the Kananaskis Nordic Spa, and this ended up being the perfect way to end our trip. We spent a few hours moving through hot and cold pools, steam rooms and relaxation areas, all surrounded by beautiful Rocky Mountain scenery. We highly recommend waking up early each day to take full advantage of the smaller crowds. The peaceful mornings and the view of the mountains will truly make your day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more detailed travel itineraries and travel inspirations.